Hi everyone. It's Diane. Welcome to the Unscripted Pause. And I wanted to come on. It is Wednesday. It's the very last day of April 2025. So it's April 30th. And I wanted to come on because I like yesterday was like such a really good day. And um I think I recorded a video Monday where I was feeling pretty blah. Yeah, I was pretty blah on Monday. But like yesterday was such an amazing day. And and so I'm gonna tell you why it was amazing. There are a couple of things that happened. Um One, I said towards the end of my video on Monday the other day that I have a contract with a company here in Houston to do two presentations. So I did the first one Tuesday, same content, just two different dates. So I did the first one yesterday, Tuesday. It's on philanthropy, and it was really great. It's an hour long presentation, so it's not a lot of time. I mean, it is a lot of time, but really, when you get right down to it, it's not a lot of time. You get people engaged, and you want them to ask questions, and you make it interactive, so it's not a lot of time. So that went really well. And my contact at the company was on there and she was pleased. That's a plus. So that's lovely. But I also want to talk about I attended before my my presentation that I presented. I attended a webinar, right, like literally, I attended a webinar that started at 12. My presentation was at 1. Okay, so I had to even get off the webinar that I joined. I had to get off of it early in order to prepare for mine. But I got on that 12 o'clock webinar because I thought it would really help me in moving into mine, and it did. Because look, this is a web. It was. mm, this is like the second or third webinar I've joined from the Soul of Money Institute, and it's Lynn Twist. Lynn Twist wrote a book called The Soul of Money. I've not read the book. Have it. I've not read it. Um, but they have put on these webinars. I mean, I think they've been around for years. I think they've done it for years. I just got hip to them. And so this was like the third webinar or something that I sat in on yesterday. And look, when I tell you, they so resonate with my spirit. Now, sometimes they're a little too, I don't know. Sometimes they're a little too earthy, and I'm more like Jesus, and they're they're a little more earth. Um, I'm thinking that's not coming out right, but I hope you know what I'm talking about. Um, but they talk about like finding your place. This is what I get from about finding your place. And there was a quote. This is what I'm looking over at because I wrote it down. And she said, "Don't wait for the perfect moment to feel extraordinary." Why that so resonated with me, I do not know, but I'm going to share it with you. Do not wait for the perfect moment to feel extraordinary. And let me tell you what I take out of that. And then you take what you need to take from it. And I know probably we have a tendency, and I know I'm not the only person. I do this, but I know I'm not the only person. So I'm saying we, a collective we, have a tendency to wait, to think that things will be so good when. So when I lose weight, so I've talked about it, I've never been content with my weight. So when I lose weight, like this is gonna happen. Things will be better. I'll feel better. I'll look better. Things will be great. When I get my college degree, I'll be able to do this. Things will be this. When I find a partner, then all of. So we have these ideas like we're waiting on something. We're waiting on something else to happen. Sometimes it's something external, sometimes it's something internal, but we're waiting on something to happen. And why? We don't have to wait on anything. It can be extraordinary. Look, I have a tendency to think I'm extraordinary. Yeah, no. But we don't have to wait to be extraordinary. We can like live. This is also to me is about being present. Sorry, there is a hair that keeps getting right on my nose. Um, to me, this is also about like being present, totally taking in the space that you're in, not waiting for something else, not waiting for someone else, not waiting for what you think the perfect time is going to be. I can remember when I was trying to go back to school, I wanted to go back to school. I dropped out of college before I got my bachelor's degree, knew I would go back, knew I wanted it. I've talked about this before, so knew I wanted it. But I was like waiting for like there was like going to be some perfect time of when it was going to be perfect for me to go back. And it was like, but then time kept passing. It was like, if I had just started 2 years ago, I'd be 2 years down the road or I'd be done. And so I was like, I'm so sorry about this hair. It is so bothering me. And you know I don't edit, so sorry. But it's just like, just do it. Like just do it and it will work out. And I like, what am I waiting to live my best life? I'm living my best life. You know what? Now, this moment I'm in right now, I'm going to make this my best moment. So, to top yesterday off, I went to this event called the Choir Room. And when I talk about topping something off, it's just amazing. If you follow me, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I like talked about it really briefly. I just said it was super fulfilling, and it was. But because I have a tendency to get excited about things, sign up for things, say, yeah, I'm going to go. And then the day comes on, like, I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I don't want to drive out there. And this event was happening in the city. I live very far northwest of Houston, still technically in Houston. But to go into the city, it takes me, especially at 5 o'clock on a weekday, it's taken me a good 45, 50 minutes to get downtown. And that's where I had to go. So I was like, I don't want to go into downtown. And I was like, but Diane, you know, this is what we got to get past. This is what I got to get past. This idea of talking myself out of things that I know will be good for me, that I know I will love, right? So I went and it was amazing. And it's the choir room. You're singing gospel songs in a choir. You know, he teaches you, you learn the songs, and then you sing it all together. Like you learn your parts. It's amazing. And it was amazing. And there was the choir director made this comment about because he taught this song that I never heard before. I'm not going to remember the exact name or all the words of it, but it was something about like living our best lives. And he made this comment. He's like, isn't it funny how sometimes we'll look back and say, those were good years. Yeah, those were good times. Those were great days. And he's like, sometimes but we don't always recognize it until it's past. Then we look back and say, like, those were great days. And he was like, how about we just look at today and say, this is a great day. Like I am living in my great days. So when you look back on it 20 years from now, you're like, I said those were my great days and they were great days. And so I'm just sharing like, be extraordinary. Don't wait for a perfect time to do something. Do what you want to do. Go be extraordinary. Now, here's the thing. Extraordinary is what's extraordinary to you. I love that. Like, right? Like, my definition of extraordinary ain't gonna be your definition of extraordinary. My definition of success ain't gonna be your definition of success. That's what, look, that's what makes life amazing. I don't have to live by your standards of extraordinary, your standards of success. I live by my standard of extraordinary, my standard of success. And, I'm just like, I mean, I know I've said this, but I feel like right now, I am living my best life. I am enjoying these days I am in. And I just feel like every day is, and yes, and I think here's an important thing for me to know. Like, I thought it was really important for me to record the other day when I was feeling blah. Because I do have a tendency, because I get excited about recording these videos, so I do have a tendency to be on and be like, so I thought it was really important to record when I was like, it's a tough day today, because there are tough days. But my tough days do not outweigh my good days, way outweigh my tough days. And sometimes that has to be a conscious decision on my part. Like, I'm not letting this, what feels like a bad day, what feels like a blah day, what feels like things aren't going well, what feels like things aren't right. Look, I'm not working. I'm not working. Yes, I got some contract work, and I am grateful, beyond grateful for that. But it's piecemeal contract work, right? It's not replacing no full-time income, but I'm grateful for it. But I can't let the heaviness of that take over me. I can't. I cannot. I won't. I refuse. Because then what? It's these things around. We have a choice of how we're going to respond to something. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to choose to respond in a positive, in an extraordinary way. I'm going to choose to be joyful. Yes, we have sad days. And yes, I have sorrowful things that happen. Heck, I've lost both my parents. I randomly lost two nephews unexpectedly within a matter of months of each other, both in their 40s, neither had been sick. So, yes, I have, yes, I get sorrow, I get hard times. Yeah, I get sorrow and hard times. Ah, but I still want to choose joy. I don't know. I feel like I talk about joy on here a lot. I still want to choose joy. I still find joy. I'm still finding the joy. And sometimes that means pushing myself to do things, like pushing myself to go out to the choir room last night. When it came right down to it, I didn't want to. I didn't want to make the drive. And honestly, I thought about the gas, and I was going by myself. Nobody was meeting me there. I wasn't meeting a friend there. I went there by myself. And I had such a great time. I had such a great time. Life is too short not to find joy, not to choose joy, and not to find joy. Okay, so I'm leaving with that. I've been 13 minutes, and I'm gonna enjoy my tea from my mug with my D on it. Um, okay, okay, y'all. Until next time, thank you for watching. I said watching because I was thinking watching and listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time, be well.